Okay, who here hasn't been to space?
Why?
You better not throw up on my ship.
Approaching jump in 3, 2, 1.
Our first main topic that we are going to move into here is going to be with Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller said that they are the Messiah here recently, but for those of you that do not know, Ezra Miller, and I'm going to go through this, has, choked the fan. Ezra Miller has broken into couples' homes, stealing their stuff, telling them he's going to burn them alive. He threw a chair at someone's head at a karaoke bar for singing karaoke. He has had several assault charges. He has been arrested by the police and said, no, I like being arrested by the police because the pictures make great NFT art. He said that he was taunting the police, saying that you can never catch me. I'm in a distant universe, or whatever the fuck he was saying. He got on
really fast.
Hold on, that's coming.
Speed, bitch.
That's coming. He got on live and said that he was going to kill everyone in the KKK. I forgot where he said he was or whatever. That one's cool. That's not bad. That one's not bad. Just a little insane because it was just random. You know what I'm saying?
The wall, something's gonna stick.
He has now been charged with the grooming of the child Dakota Iron Eyes from a young age. Yes, giving LSD to children, having weapons on his Vermont farm, and mass amounts of weed with children and altars. He actually believes himself to be Barry Allen. He has said, and we're going to read into this a little bit more, but he has said that he is the Messiah. I'm sorry, excuse me. I want to be respectful here. They have said that they are the Messiah, and that they are Barry Allen, and that Barry Allen is the Messiah because Barry Allen, like Jesus, brings the multiverse together. So, and these are things that they have said, and I find it so. And again, please understand that when I smile and laugh and giggle at this, it's not at the expense of the mental health aspects that they are going through, because that is very real. We all said here when they started getting help, good on them. We need that. We want that. But at the same time, that does not then excuse any of these charges.
Right.
Because I always compare the Will Smith thing.
Right.
That does not then dismiss these allegations and the things that they have done and everything like that. They still need to be held accountable for that. It's funny to me though, because like I said, some of the things that we're going to dive into in this article, and I encourage. Now, this is an expose done by Vanity Fair or Variety. I'm sorry, Variety. I believe it's Variety. So this that we are going to read is just a small portion of a much larger expose that I encourage everyone, because I've read it, I encourage everyone to go out there and read. I encourage everyone to read that expose because it dives into a lot deeper things that are going on behind the scenes with them that are honestly jaw-dropping, kind of crazy. It makes you think about some of the things that they're going through. But it starts here. A source in the new Vanity Fair report claimed that Miller believes themselves to be a Christ-like figure, fated to wed the 18-year-old environmental activist Dakota Iron Eyes, whose parents requested a court-issued protective order against Miller, stating in court documents that the actor met Dakota 6 years ago when she was 12 and Miller was 23. Ezra is Jesus, and Dakota is an apocalyptic Native American spider goddess, and their union is supposed to bring about the apocalypse. A source from Miller's compound in Vermont, dubbed the Mountain, told the outlet, and that's the real reason everyone is so opposed to them being together. Iron Eye's mother, Jumping Eagle, added, "They say they are some kind of messiah, and they are going to lead an indigenous revolution." Iron Eye's parents alleged Miller used violence, intimidation, threats, and violence, fear, paranoia, delusion, and drugs to hold sway over a young adolescent Dakota, as well as a cult-like behavior in grooming the teen. Jumping Eagle also accused Miller's influencing Dakota's decision to come out and come out as non-binary transgender. So you hear some of these things that Miller is going on in Miller's personal life, and where's your mind go here?
So I'll be very,
because this is some insanely crazy shit.
So there are some times where celebrities will, and this is they are not included in this. Okay, but there's sometimes when celebrities will do things because they're having fun, they're trolling, right? I think the biggest one that I was a huge fan of was when, Dave Chappelle's done it. Another one who's done it this is the one I was a big fan of is Jim Carrey. Everyone thought he was losing his fucking mind, and really he was having fun because he realized that the Hollywood image is not real, that none of this is real. I can say anything on this camera, and y'all are gonna think I'm insane, but really I'm just having fun because none of it exists, right?
Personality.
But they're doing it for a purpose. They're doing it for having fun.
Entertainment. It's a show,
right? Entertainment, or they're just trolling. They're fucking around, right? Yeah. And I get that. But then you have people who actually need help, right? Yeah. And with Ezra Miller, they need help. And we've talked about that before, where I said someone who is going through mental problems, right? It's sad. No one, should be forced to have to deal. That's not an excuse, right? You having any sort of mental disability is not an excuse for you to fucking set shit on fire and hit people with chairs and fucking go. There's no or any of that, right? But I'm always encouraging of get people the help they need. Don't expose them on tabloids. Get them the assistance they need, da-da-da. But when you get to the point of fucking grooming kids, when you get to the point of this shit...
That's what I'm saying.
At this point, I'm still... I will forever be like, you need help. They need help. But I'm also like, okay, you're done. The career is done. The Flash is done. The DC is done. Being in Hollywood movies is done. And I think a big reason Hollywood doesn't give a shit... one, this is tabloid generating and this not let it out. But when it comes to because I figured the grooming of a child would be... This
intensifies those charges, in my opinion.
But I'm saying to the Hollywood eye, right? I thought when they came, when it came out and they were grooming a child, that'd be game over, right? That Hollywood would say, okay, we're done with this. But then I remembered who exists in Hollywood. Then I remember every rock star, every famous movie person who has... It's the Elvis Presley marrying a 14-year-old. It's the, stuff like that. They don't give a shit. They don't fucking care. We do. But we also, it feels like at this point we have to show them at the fucking box office and everyone says I'm done with the Flash. At this point it's over. It's gone beyond where I tried to reason and be like, they need help, they need assistance, da-da-da-da. Now I'm just like, you still need that, but you're done. It's over. There's no
I'm
more
with you.
this.
Once kids are involved, it's a different...
Yeah, it's different.
It's a whole different thing.
It's different. And, we have
once any real problem needs to... property damage, all that shit.
We have to remember, too...
We
have to remember, too, that Warner Brothers, the current ownership over Warner Brothers, Zaslav and company, inherited this problem. This was not a problem that was done on their watch. This was something that they inherited. So they are sitting in a very tough position right now trying to decide what do we do with this film. Because if you remember, what was it, a month or so ago, they came out with 3 options that they were giving for Miller. It was to get the treatment, which they said in a statement that they were going to be doing. They were going to get the help that they were needing and seeking, and they were going to be checking themselves into a mental institution, things like that. Things like that. The other one that Zaslav and Warner Brothers gave them was that I think maybe have them promote. I think that's what it was. Yes, because it's a $200 million film that that we're talking about here, and that it's one of those things like, what do they do with it? Do they just say, okay, well, fuck the $200 million, or do they say, we're just still going to put this film out, and it's just going to be what it is? Because I've even seen whispers of possibly having Miller even out there promoting. And listen, before I want to get you guys' thoughts on that. Before they even go in on their thoughts, I'll say this: there is absolutely, positively no way in the fuck you can put him in anyone's fucking late night show chair on any red carpet. No, because the first questions aren't going to be, I've said this. Miller, Ezra, how are you doing? You look great. How did you prepare for Barry Allen? Are you really that fast? No, the question's going to be, what were you doing with Dakota Iron Eyes when she was 12 years old? That's going to be the question. No one's going to care about the Flash. Right. Now, I want to say this to normal people out there that aren't in the spaces like we are on Planet Fanatics, and like our viewers are not seeing these tabloids. They're not looking up Ezra. Yeah. So half the people don't even know that this shit is going on.
Right. Well, and it's also a thing too. And this, just what you just said, right, where they do the interview and they ask the question, right? Now, do that again. We're gonna play a little role play here. Do it again. I'm gonna be Ezra.
And they say, Ezra, how did you prepare for this role?
No, the Dakota Iron Eyes.
Oh, what were you doing with Dakota Iron Eyes when she was 12 years old?
What y'all don't understand is Dakota is a goddess in our union.
Yeah, I'm telling you that.
Bring about the Great Revolution.
Yeah.
And if she just lives on my... At that point, I'm watching this, and I'm kind of... That fucks me up. It makes me sad. And what I mean by sad is I'm not showing... I am, but... That's where I'm really torn, because when it comes to people that are
there's
like
nothing
this,
wrong with having empathy
sympathy for someone who has mental issues.
No one's discrediting the mental aspect.
But I'll throw out here.
But there is the very real aspect of everything else.
Well, and that's the problem when with something like this with Hollywood, you're paying him all this money, right, to live as the elite of elites within society, right? I mean, you're the goddamn Flash, right? Yeah. Money ain't helping this. No. Money ain't helping this all, and it's a thing where like. It's never as simple as, oh, I have something, mentally wrong with me. I'll take some pills and be fine. There's intense therapy sessions. Yeah. There's it's a stop and rework my life for a little bit, right? And, I'll even throw out something that Gray said here in the comments that I completely agree with. He said, basically, WB is culpable at this point. They literally aided and abetted them when they had a warrant, but they came for reshoots.
That's true.
And, Raymond brought up the new owner of WB is Shady himself. He said that Don Lemon thing, which I don't really know what that is.
I know what he's talking
has
about.
me looking at him a certain way, and after Batgirl, I was already looking at him a certain way. That's that's where WB is. Trust me, WB, they have a lot of money, right? And yeah, you spent a lot of money on this film, right? I get that. But if it was my company...
I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I really am having a question. And this is not... Because I am of the opinion the film needs to not...
Agreed.
That's my opinion.
Agreed.
That's personally me. Because especially with the grooming of the children. Yes. When the children become involved, I'm not dismissing anything else, but when the children are involved, and this is a superhero film, and they're going to see, this is made for kids. They're supposed to be looking up to this person.
Right.
How do I look up to this person who's done all these things, but that's my Flash? No. Because when we see Robert Downey Jr., we see Iron Man. Me, personally. Yeah. When I see Steve or Chris Evans, I see Steve Rogers. I see Cap.
And Robert Downey Jr. is a good one to bring up because of Robert Downey Jr.'s past. He literally did when he was on drugs. He broke into people. He got arrested multiple times, and then he had that comeback. But he had a drug problem, and things were bad, and he was doing stuff wilding, but it never crossed that line into territory with kids or anything like that. So at that point, what does America love more than a comeback story?
Right.
We like forgiving people. We like taking people back into the fold. Honestly, what this sounds like to me is that he was predisposed, whether schizophrenia or whatever, he had something going on, and he's one of those people who should not have used LSD because it opens something, and that happens. It seems like drug-induced psychosis.
That's really what it seems like.
Could be.
Yeah.
It really
and
could
so
be.
I feel... No,
we're not doctors here, but...
I feel bad for him. I want him to get help, but it's like, I care about the kid, it's like there's victims here.
Yeah.
Like, I care about them getting better, but I care about the victims a little more.
Right. And, to add one last thing that I'll say about this is, you mentioned Robert Downey Jr., this and that, right? So there's two kind of things with celebrities that happens. One is they just do something kind of like, oh, shit, and they got to go time out for a little bit, right? But I don't really feel bad that a celebrity has to sit out in time out for a year. Right. Because, you're a multi-millionaire, you're fine. It ain't hurting you. Go start 9 million hobbies that I could never afford to do, right? Boo-hoo. And then you come out of time out and everything's okay. You do a tour, you do a press thing, I learned. I really hope they did. I'm not knocking them, but I'm just saying, to me, that's not something I don't give a shit about, right? Mm-hmm. But then you have people, again, like a Robert Downey Jr., right, who's doing drugs and doing crazy, doing some crazy shit, right? Mm-hmm. And trust me, there's tons of people, real everyday me and you, viewers, fucking tons of people that have done dumb shit in their life, right? Yeah. I have done dumb shit in my life that I look back and it's like, I was young, I was learning this and that, and so everyone has to understand, there has to be growth. There has to be a chance to... People change, and you have to let them, right? You can't forever... if someone did something at 19, you can't hold it over their head when they're 40, right? I mean, you can't, obviously depending on the situation.
Right, within reason.
But with Ezra, this is one of those, you're past the timeout point, bud. And that's where I'm saying, if I was head of WB, I don't give a fuck how much money the company's not going to tank. Yeah. I would literally have come out.
And I just feel, I guess I just feel sorry for everyone else that's worked on the film.
Sure, but they got paid.
Yeah, they did get paid, but as a VFX effect worker, especially in Hollywood, working on superhero, I want to see my because
it's also adds to your portfolio,
right? And I often think about the Spider-Man Lotus VFX team. Spider-Man Lotus was a fan film that was supposed to come out, but then there was some racist shit that was going on with the main actor that was playing Gavin. I think his name was Gavin, that was playing Spider-Man, and then the director. There were their images of their personal direct messages of them saying racist shit, not on one occasion, but several occasions, came out, and the VFX team released their Spider-Man web swinging scene. Beautiful.
Right.
It was great. And that was for a fan film. It was great. So I think about them often, and I think about the team here. I feel bad. But the question I have here, I'm playing devil's advocate again. What's the negative effect if they do release the film? Like, what happens?
Nothing.
Like, what do people say? Is there
literally nothing?
So WB releases
there'll be some backlash.
Okay.
I think so. I think, like you were saying, okay, we're on the pulse of this because we like, we're into the geek shit, but other people aren't. Other people are like, oh, the guy from, Perks Being a Wallflower. If they go forward with this, I think that this is going to become a bigger story, and I think that they'll regret doing it, and they might even be under enough pressure that they don't. That's my opinion. I don't see how they do this, and it's not getting reported about, and it's not getting talked about.
Right, but it's like he was saying earlier. People who aren't where we're at doing what we're doing. A lot of people don't know who the fuck Ezra Miller. I could say the name Ezra Miller to at my job, and literally everyone would be like, "Who the fuck is that?" Right. So a lot of people it doesn't. And again, they're going to get some shitty articles written about him. Right. They're going to have a couple of people that are up in arms, and I'm not going to watch the movie. Right. But like, I don't think anything actually happens to them. That's what I used to. What happens?
But does it say? But does it? What I mean, I guess maybe I should have worded. What message does it send? Does it send the message that we are condoning the grooming? By putting out this film. I mean, because you think about
but it's Hollywood. Like,
I mean, yeah, it is, but we're also talking about a superhero film.
Yeah,
you're a superhero. This content is not just. I know we often think of us adults. We often think of us like, that's so cool. Can't wait to see this. Can't wait to see that. There are real children, like I just said. The child that I saw yesterday at Hobby Lobby wearing the Black Panther costume with the Spider-Man mask on, on his dad's back.
Right.
These kids aren't reading these tabloids. They're not paying attention to the side stories. They're paying attention to the main actors that are portraying these characters, and they're like, hey, when I see that character, that like I said, my nephew across the street, he was the Flash last year for Halloween. He loves the Flash. Like, he wants my Flash figure that was up here. I'm like, no, bud, can't have that. But he wants my Flash figure. But the thing is, he's looking at that. He wants to see this Flash film. Right. So my thing is, then if you start seeing, and I get it, the kids aren't hearing, and why are you worried about it? The kids aren't hearing tabloids. I get that.
No. I disagree. Okay. Because of influence that he could have, things he could do. He has a fucking compound at this point.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying, as far as this is how flippant it can be, though. WB can release it. Right? They can release the movie, right? Get a couple bad tabloids, as long as they get close to breaking even, right? Who cares? Fire Ezra Miller, and then hire a new Flash, and then start it over, and it's no sweat off their bones. Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. They're like, we released the movie, we at least broke even, right? Now we have a new Flash, and it's like this never happened. We wash our hands clean of it, right? For WB, that's it. That's it. Because what happens then, the next Flash comes out, and we're going to be like, so we're going to support the company that supports groomers, and you know what 90% of motherfuckers on the internet are going to say? This Flash didn't groom anyone. Why would I not go see this movie when this Flash didn't do it? But it's the company. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it doesn't matter. They'll get a new face and they'll go on. These companies don't have long-term ramifications like everybody else does.
Right.
And you can see that, and my defense to this is you can see that because Ezra Miller is still the Flash as of right now. Again, if it was me, I would have come out the day of and fired the fired them, called it done. Yeah. But no, they're just trying to slowly, and we were watching for months where they were the scourge of Hawaii. Yes. And WB was just chilling. They go to reshoots for the Flash with warrants out for their arrest. WB doesn't say a fucking thing about it. They don't care. No, right. Because they don't have to care. Because I won't say they're not concerned about what kids looking up to these heroes. They're fucking. They just want to make their money.
I won't say WB themselves does not care. I will say that again, under the new regime of management here with Zaslav, if I'm in that position too, of course I'm firing them. But if I'm in that position too, I'm also thinking, what do we do? That's $200 million. And I get it. It's with a $500 billion company. I get it. What's $200 million to you? $500 billion. What's, But it's unrealistic to think that you can go in and do CGI on the face and make the person, deep fake the person, and no one wants to see that.
Yeah, right.
And that's going to cost millions of more dollars than the whole film because
Cavill's mustache.
Right, they play like two different versions of the Flash in the film anyway. So I mean,
I'm saying it's also a point where again everyone got paid. Right,
everyone did get paid.
It would be your bottom dollar that takes the hit, right? Again, it is losing a lot of money, but you're a company that will survive it just fine, right? Maybe you can't buy another yacht this year, fuck. But what you do is at that point you come out.
But the smaller guys, we're not at that point. Not Zaslav and them that are making billions on the sitting up in the chairs making all the decisions. Right. We're talking about the guys that are the VFX teams that's sitting here till 6 a.m.
No, I'm saying, but they got paid for what they were doing.
They did get paid.
If they can get paid. Seriously, you come out, and I mean, WB's allowed to be pissed, right? They're allowed to come out and be like, I can't believe they would do this. Their group. I mean, at that point, I would have a personal vengeance against Ezra Miller because I would be like, "You fucked me on all this money, right?"
It's a shit situation.
I would.
Oh yeah,
because
now you're fucking with my money. See, we can play about a lot of things, but not my money.
They can openly expose it, and then say we're gonna have to tank the film. We will do a new Flash. We will recast, and then WB also can be the company that stood up against a child groomer. And people are like, yeah,
and
but,
actually go
but
with
no,
good
but they
press
don't.
into
Yeah,
Flash.
but and then the next Flash movie, I swear I'll be on Reddit and I will see a fucking article that says why we should all see the Flash movie. Because
the reviews have already been amazing as to seeing why we should see the Flash film. There's been no bad review of the film.
But I'm just saying they would also get that encouragement of WB stands up to a child predator. We should all support their. You know what I'm saying? Like they would just have such a positive claim. It would be nothing but good, great press that they could use for a long time, right? I swear to God, 15 years later, and I lost that $500 million, I would still 15 years later be like, remember when we stood up to that groomer?
Right, yeah.
I mean, like I said, there's so much to go into with Ezra Miller, but we've talked so much about them within the past few months, within the past year, honestly. The past year, there's been so much going on with Ezra Miller. But let us know down below in the comments what you guys think of the newest statements came out by Dakota Ironhide's parents and the things that they are saying about Miller's behavior and what's going on at the mountain in Vermont, their compound that they have. What do you think? Should the film be put out? Should WB take that L? Or should the film still be put out and it's just like sweep it under the rug, continue to not talk about it? It just happens and you let it go. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys think of that topic there.